All right. Am I getting feedback? I'm gonna have to remove myself. All right. I tried to let me get rid of this. Oh, all right. I tried to sorry about that. Tried to get my face on tonight, but it would not let me for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'll have to play with it. But welcome back to another Thursday. Very exciting day because the new mini catalog is available now, and it is chock full of really great products. We've used a few of them, and tonight we are using the stippled roses. Let me see. The stippled roses, and it's this set right here. And to go along with this stippled rose, I am actually using the free designer series paper. That's also, and I should have found it, and I'm sorry. That matches the stamp set right here. And that's what I'm using for tonight's cards. But there's some really great free products. Designer series paper, this watermelon stamp set, some other designer series paper, Flight and Airy, this cute little Cradled in Love, some Valentine's Day, the Father's Day. The toolkit is in the mini catalog, and it also has some free designer series paper that goes to it. Hey, Karen. Oh, is it cold by you? And then this adorable little stamp set, Jungle Pals. So those are the new minis. If you head to my blog, you can see the mini catalog and the celebration catalog if you go to the sidebar. All right. Now, I just have a few announcements to make. Um, I am not doing make and takes anymore. When it comes to making purchases, what I'm going to do is if you make any purchases, I am going to gift you the PDF that goes to my craft box um, every month. And you'll be able to pick out a embellishment, and I'm going to list those on the front of my blog. Hi, Ruth. Hey, do. That's okay. So this month, this is the craft box that I'm doing for this month. So any purchases made for the month, you'll get the PDF for these cards. Hey, Beverly. All right, 29 and cloudy. So that is what you will get by using the host code that is on the screen. All right. Now, tonight's cards, like I said, crazy as it is, I'm using the stippled roses. They're really beautiful, easy to color. So if you haven't tried coloring, it is the perfect stamp set to color with. And the cards are actually going to be created with wild wheat, which is a crazy color, right? And Lost Lagoon. And then, like I said, the designer series paper is the free paper in the celebration catalog. All right. All right, let me just check something here. All right, so we are going to start with this card because I did actually already color the image for this card, but I want to show you how I did it on the smaller one. All right, I'm just going to pull my camera down so you can see it a little better. And we are going to start out with wild wheat, 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4.25. All right. Now this mat is a Stampin' Up glass mat. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. That must be Cindy. And for joining Stamping Up, this is the free gift for becoming a Stamping Up demonstrator this month. You can choose the glass mat or an additional $30 in product. So both are great. I would take the glass mat because it is a really nice addition to your craft room. All right, I am going to layer up this wild wheat with Lost Lagoon, 5.25 by 4, and then the Designer Series paper, 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So let me pull out my glue. I will be live tomorrow at 10 o'clock with our Fun Fold Friday. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do. It's a toss-up, actually. All right, so we're going to just layer these 2 layers. Thanks, Karen. Yep, I can still see your name, Karen. And thank you. These are... I finally was able to get my nails done. I've been in the process of... And I should post a picture. I'm in the process of redoing my bathroom and our TV room. So I'm painting. And it is a stinking lot of work. All right. So now that I have this layered up, before I put it onto the front of the card, I am going to add this little strip, and it's a 1/2 inch, and it should be 5 1/8. And it is. And we're just going to line this up on the center of this card. I'm just going to put it down just a hair. Make sure it's on there straight. And that looks pretty good. And then I am going to grab, let me just grab it out of this box. This is twine that I've had. And I figured I was going to use it tonight. And I am going to cheat, of course. And I'm just going to add glue dots to the end of the twine. And my room is cold, so my glue dots are not really, they don't really work that well when my room is cold. As you can tell, I'm wearing long sleeves. Hey, Elaine. You don't like to paint? I actually used to do it as for a living when I lived in on Long Island. And I don't really mind painting. The only problem I have right now with painting is I don't have the strength anymore to do my ceilings. So I am going to have to hire somebody to do my ceilings. I mean, I could do it, but I would be laid up because I just don't have it in me anymore. And I used to. That's what happens when you get old. All right, so I am going to open this up because it looks like it folded crooked. So I'm just going to add this to the front of the card. And I am just going to check this. Yeah, it looks like it's off just a little bit. I'm going to fix this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to trim this down. Make sure it is the right size. What happens is sometimes the sheet of paper is not exactly, when you cut it in half, the second half sometimes is a little off. So that's what happened. All right. This is the back side of the designer series paper that I used for the front of the card. And I die cut it with this scalloped, yeah, I use it all the time. How come I can't think? Contour, scallop contour dies. Sorry about that. And I'm going to layer it with some Lost Lagoon. And this is 3 1/4 by 2. You don't have to keep track of the measurements. I'll have them on my blog tomorrow. And just as a reminder, if you're coming in late, any purchases during the month, when you use the host code on the screen, you will get the free PDF for my craft box each month. So it will not come out until my subscribers get theirs first. All right, so I am going to take this and we are going to pop it up onto the front of the card. So did anybody do anything good for New Year's, or did you all stay home? I stayed home. Didn't even make it till we used to do a lot of things, that's for sure. Yeah, a really long pole is perfect. I still can't because of my back. I just can't do it anymore. All right, so we're just going to pop it up, and I am going to add this to the center of the card. All right, and hopefully it's on there straight. You watched football, Elaine? Good for you. I didn't even make it till midnight. Not a chance. All right, so now I have a piece of basic white, and I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap here. And this basic white measures 3 1/8 by 1 7/8. And I'm going to pull in the small little rows. And I'm going to pull in the bait. Oh, wow. Look at that. It was leaking. My basic gray. All right. And I am going to ink it up. And we are going to stamp right on this layer. Oh, you had friends over. Very nice. Oh, wow, Ruth. That's really exciting. Yeah. It's funny. I used to be an avid football fan. Oh, my goodness. I watch football all the time, and I have not seen a football game in, I couldn't tell you how long. right, so I just dried the image a little bit, and I pulled out my Lost Lagoon and my Wild Wheat blends. And I'm going to start with the light, and I'm going to pull this in just a little bit more. All right. And with the brush, which I usually don't use that much, I am going to add a quick layer of light wild wheat. Now these stamps, with the shadows in them, are so easy to color. If you don't like coloring or you don't know what to do, these are the perfect images to work with. So now I'm going to use the nib on the dark wild wheat. And can you see all these dark lines? That's what I'm going to color. I am just going to add darkness where these dark lines are. I'm just going over what the artist has drawn. I'm going to add my shadow around that petal, but I am just adding the darkness where the dark is on the stamp. And I'm going to do the same thing with the rose. This is Light Lost Lagoon. And I'm just going to go around the edges and do a quick brush. And then go around the edge. So if you don't really like coloring, but you like the look of coloring, these are great stamps to do. So as you can see, it's just the Light Lost Lagoon. Oh wow, the Wolverines are playing for the championship. Hey Mimi Cakes, it's nice to see you too. Seems like I've been gone forever. All right, now with the dark Lost Lagoon, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just going over all these dark lines to add the shadows. And there you have your flower. Now, if you find that you don't like the way the darkness is, you can always take your Lost Lagoon again and just go over that edge. And when it dries, it'll be a little lighter on the edges than it is where we just stamped. All right. So that is exactly what I did for the other card. All right. So we have this piece. I'm actually going to take this and I am going to put a little bit of glue around the edges. And we're going to adhere it to the front of the card. All right, so there's the front of our card. Now, I did already stamp the sentiment. I want to see, though, if I can get this punched. If I can't, I'll do it again. I'm just going to add a little extension. Let's see what I did. Here it is. Because I need to feed it into, and I'm going to pull this back up, into the punch down at this bottom one. I'm just going to line it up. Oops. That little extension makes it easier to hold. And then I already did the scalloped, and I did it in Lost Lagoon. So we're just going to add our sentiment. And we are going to pop this up. But I die cut from Wild Wheat the rose leaves from the dies that go to this set. All right. And let's see. My dies, I didn't put it on my magnet yet, but these are the dies that go to the set. And then here is the leaf. So they're really pretty dies. I am using Lost Lagoon and Wild Wheat. Two crazy colors that I would never have thought would go together, honestly. All right, so here's Wild Wheat leaves. That's what we just colored with. And I'm just going to add a bit of glue. And we're going to add it to this corner. We're going to take our sending thanks and we're going to pop it up. Oops. And we'll add it right about here. And then I'm going to grab a piece of twine and tie a bow. Even with twine, I just don't like wrapping and tying a bow. Oops, wrong one. So, I don't know if you remember me telling you about Iggy when he was our stray that was outside over the winter. I guess it was about 3 years ago. And we ended up taking him to the vet and having him fixed and having lots of work done on him when he was, oh no, what did I just do with my ribbon? Oh, it fell on the floor. When he got beat up and he was just in bad shape. Well, we have another stray outside. All right, so there is the front of the card. Yeah, I didn't like it either, Em. It really does, right? They do complement each other. I mean, I wasn't too sure about Wild Wheat either, but it grows on you, I guess. It's really like a vintage type color. So if you're into vintage type cards, this would be the color to use, I would think. All right, now for the inside, and I'm just looking here. I did cut the piece. What did I do with it? Maybe I put it in the wrong envelope. Nope. Let me just grab another one. Oh, here it is. I left it on my cutter. All I'm going to do for the inside of the card is add a strip of designer series paper. So the inside matte layer is 5 1/4 by 4. Our basic white is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And we're going to add a strip that is a 1/2 inch of Lost Lagoon, and then a 3/8 inch of designer series paper. Ah, thank you. You have 4 cats and a 5th hanging. Well, we do too, Karen. We have 4. Iggy made number 4. And then all of a sudden, this little calico, she's a cute little thing. I'm assuming it's a she because it's a calico, and it's a gray calico. And she is sweet as can be. And she's been hanging out outside. Of course, it's winter time. And of course, the cats or animals know exactly where to go. So I'm just adhering this to the layer because they know I'm a sucker for them. So when Iggy was outside, I had bought him a cat house that has a heated pad in it. And we put it outside. It's plugged in, heated, been feeding her, and she's been hanging out in that little house. I'm afraid it's a little, she's a kitten, I believe, but I think we're going to end up taking her to be fixed. And then you know what'll happen. She'll end up in our house. I just don't want kittens out there. And that is because I just can't. I can't handle kittens. I think Crumb Cake and Lost Lagoon would probably be really pretty. All right, so that's the inside. So there is card number 1. I'm just looking to see. Nope, that's not it. I'm just taking a quick look here. I know. Oh, wait, here it is. I was just taking a look to see. Here's Crumb Cake. And here's Lost Lagoon. It would be beautiful. Another nice combination. All right. So that really does look good. All right. So there is card number 1. Okay. Let's jump to the next one. Now, this is a birthday card. And I forgot to mention this ribbon that I added to this card. It's a crinkle ribbon, which is really, really pretty. Is a celebration gift. So if you wanted to pick ribbon, you could pick the ribbon. Oh, you're welcome, Ruth. All right. So again, we have our wild wheat, and it is 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. And it looks like it is off again. All right. Then I have a layer of our Lost Lagoon again. And it should be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then we have a 5 1/4 by 4. This is from the same pack of designer series paper. Here's the back side. Here's the front side. Let's see if I have it out. Yeah. And this is the softly stippled. This is the free designer series paper. Okay. With a $50 purchase, I believe. So there's a few different. This is what I made my scrapbook pages with that I'm going to be offering a class for. So all I'm going to do is layer these up. The house is quiet. I think Bill's sleeping. He really hasn't been feeling well. Sheba wanted to go to sleep. My goodness, she started whining at 5:30. That girl is crazy. And she's in love with that kitten outside. She wants to go out it seems like every hour to check on that cat. All right, so that's how I layered it up. Then I used the deckled circles, cut a Lost Lagoon, and this is the 3 1/4. And then I die cut, this is the designer series paper, deckled circle, 2 7/8. And all I'm going to do is adhere these two together. Now, depending on how you want the designer series paper to lay, I'm going to put it so my stripes are vertical, okay? And we're just going to adhere this. Oh, you know what? To the front of the card. I'm going to pull in the first card. Because would you believe, yes you would, I pulled out these embellishments and I forgot to add it to the front of the card. And I'm not sure if these are even available anymore. I forgot to check. But they are iridescent and they're gold. It looks like Pretty Peacock. And the pink ones, I should pull the catalog out quick. So I just wanted to add those 3 little embellishments. Let me just take a quick look. I don't think they are. I have so many embellishments that I think a lot of what I have are retired. Yeah, these are not. Definitely retired. Okay, getting back to this card. So I just adhered this circle down to the front of the card. Okay. And then, like I said, I already colored the roses. Now I'm going to tell you, this one, you'll notice that they look completely different. On this one, I colored it right after I stamped it. So can't forget the bling for sure. So I think that's why it looks so dull. This one I let dry. Secondly, when I did this one, I did the dark colors first and then did the light. So I would suggest coloring with the light blend first and then coming back in with the dark blend, because look at the difference. And they were both done today. So that is the difference in coloring with the blends. Start with your light, finish up with your dark, and let the image dry before you go and color it. All right. So here's my image. I am going to pop this up onto the front of the card. fit it so it's not hanging off. All right. See, now you can see the difference. How crazy is that? And then we're going to stamp our sentiment. And I just want to first cut this basic white down. All right, we only need a tiny little strip. And we're using Best Birthday Wishes. And I'm going to use the Lost Lagoon. Now we're going to hope that I get this on here straight. Just got to take a look at this so I can see how far up it is. Somebody's crying. It must be Iggy. He's probably crying to come in, I bet. All right, so we're just going to stamp this. Not bad. Let me see if that's what he wants. Come on. Come on. That's what he wanted. He wanted to come in. All right, so here's our sentiment. And again, it's stamped in Lost Lagoon. I am just going to cut that at an angle, and I'm actually going to cut a little bit off this end. And we're going to grab some smaller dimensionals. And I'm going to do this one a little bit different. I'm going to add my dimensionals to the end that I cut. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the other end so I don't have to double up my dimensionals. And we're going to add this right here. And that's crooked. Just like that. Let's grab those embellishments. I'll put a large one here, a smaller one here, and then we're going to grab that ribbon and just tie a quick bow. Hopefully I grabbed enough of a strip here. All right. So when you get that ribbon, you want to make sure that knot is nice and tight in the center. With this ribbon, it's a little harder, but it really does make pretty puffy bows. So as a reminder, if you came in late, use the host code on the screen when you place your order, and you will get, for the month, the PDF to this month's craft box. And it's from the Adoring Hearts. All right, so there is the second card. You have that ribbon too? And then for the inside, I did it really quick and simple. We're going to grab our basic white, and what did I just do with that? Here it is. So we have a matte layer of Lost Lagoon, 5 1/4 by 4, and a basic white 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And we're going to just grab our Lost Lagoon. It's okay, Iggs. And we're going to ink up this rose stamp. Make sure it's all inked up. And I'm actually going to stamp. And I'm just going to stamp it right in the center of our layer. Nice and light. How pretty is that, right? You don't even have to color it. It's a beautiful, beautiful stamp. And we are just going to adhere this to our matte layer. And then adhere it to the inside of our card. Now, if you wanted that rose to be even lighter, I would stamp it twice. Stamp it off twice and then stamp it. That's what I did here. All right. So here is our first card. And here is our second. Yeah, it's different, right? Thanks, Elaine. A big sand. What black am I using? Actually, I use basic gray. I did not use black this time, but I would use Memento, even to color with blends. So I used basic gray and let it dry, and then colored it with blends. All right. So there you go. 2 great cards. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll see everybody tomorrow at 10 for Fun Fold Friday. And if you use the host code on the screen, any purchases this month, you will get the PDF for my craft box, which I use the Adoring Hearts. Yeah, the gray is really nice, especially if you don't want to see the lines. You could even use a lighter gray and color over, and it would be no line coloring. Thanks, Karen. So thanks for joining me tonight, ladies. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And like I said, I'll see you tomorrow at 10. Thanks for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye-bye.